ActiveCampaign Choose Your Own Adventure. Now, this is for your contacts to have an experience that's based on their behavior. And to accomplish this, one thing you will want to do is install ActiveCampaign tracking. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Inside your ActiveCampaign account, you might typically add somebody to an automation that sends them an email day after day after day after day as kind of an indoctrination into your system when they sign up. Now that's a good start, but you can do a little bit better than that. One thing to do is when you put them into an automation like this is check, do they have a tag called Do Not Disturb? And I'll explain that shortly. If they don't have that tag, continue on. First thing after that we do is we apply a Do Not Disturb tag with the name of the automation. In this case, Do Not Disturb Demo. And then we send an email, we wait a day. We come back and then again we check, do they have a Do Not Disturb tag? As long as they don't have that, they move on. And typically we set this up with no time limit, so in theory they can be at that one step forever if they continue to have a Do Not Disturb. But the idea is we want to stop giving them this automation if they have this tag applied, which means they're in another automation. And then we repeat, send the second email, wait a day, check for the Do Not Disturb. Very last thing we do is we remove the Do Not Disturb Demo tag, which is the name of this automation, and then we end the automation. So the other automation is going to be based on a link click from the very first email. And then you could do the same thing for email 2, etc., for whatever, based on their behavior. In this case, their behavior is they clicked a link in this email from that first automation we looked at. Now, as soon as they've done that, we check, do they have the Do Not Disturb tag already? If they do, that means they're in another automation. So we don't want to pile on all the automations and overwhelm them. So we just skip to the bottom and exit out of this. We could put a delay in there or not. I'm just skipping over. But if they don't have the tag, we add the Do Not Disturb tag as a way to prevent them from moving through other automations. We send out an email, wait a day, etc. You can send out multiple emails. As soon as you're finished with that part, you want to remove the Do Not Disturb tag so it can be used by another automation and then in that. So far what's happened is we had a generic automation that people get put into it immediately, and then based on their behavior, in this case if they clicked a link in the first email of the other automation, we put them in here, we pause effectively the first automation until they're done with this. Now, the reason I bring up these Do Not Disturb tags also is if you're going to send out a campaign to your whole list and you want to leave those people alone, you don't want to disturb them when they're in an automation, the first one or any other ones, you basically create a segment which says as long as they don't have this tag and they don't have this other tag, which are both Do Not Disturb tags, then great, send them this campaign. Otherwise, exclude them. And then the last thing to make this work, because back here, your trigger might be if they visit a particular page. Maybe they visit a product page and you want to send them information about the product. You would want to install tracking. So here down at the gear icon, which is settings, tracking, you're going to want to install this tracking code onto your site. If you have WordPress, you could probably use a WordPress plugin to implement it, pretty easy. You also need to whitelist your domains, and that's it. ActiveCampaign, Choose Your Own Adventure automations.